streamlined into modules, they don't have anywhere else to go. And then just make sure you click save. So once you go into modules, the district math person asked us to put everything by unit. So I don't know if Donna Morgan has had y'all do things differently, but mine's still loading. Okay, well, I've got other weeks in there, and obviously we're not on week 1 of school. So we're gonna set up a week together. It's still loading. But so under each unit, I set everything up by week. There we go. And so the students know the daily Canvas attendance they can access here, but I've put it into each day. So it has to be here as a module for them to be able to click on it. But most of my students access it by the day. So I'll show you what week 4 looks like, and then we're going to set up next week together. My internet's going real slow though. Okay, so this is my whole week. And so when I'm setting it up, I don't use assignments. I put everything under a page so they can see the whole week, and they can also see it. I just put these little dotted lines. It's not fancy, by day. And so each day I number everything that they have to do. And I know y'all, if you do stations, it will look a little bit different. And maybe as a literacy team, you'd want to talk about what that looks like, but I number it. So I've got a 45-minute class, so it goes fast. So they do their daily attendance. And then I have this daily work. And so I have that on a Google Doc. And then my Loom video for their notes and their daily work is right next to it. And so they open it, and then if you have a document that you want to force the students to make a copy of this, can you guys see the toolbar? Okay, at the top where it says copy, if you're working on it, it's going to say edit. All you have to do is change that word edit to copy. So for next week, I have my week 5, and right here it says edit. And when I put it in for the students, I'm going to want to change the word edit to copy. And that's how you get it to look. Oh man, where was I? Here. And then it forces them to make a copy. And so my students at this point are, and I think most of the 8th graders are pretty proficient at making a copy. And then I've noticed that several of the other teachers have also made folders, and maybe other grade levels have too. And so the first week it's a little bit chaotic, but once they get used to it, I found it's pretty easy. And
you're not sharing the screen anymore.
Oh, great. Thank you. Okay, at what point did I lose you? What was the last thing y'all saw?
We saw you make a copy. We showed you how to do the copy. We just didn't right after you made the copy, it was like after you showed us how to do that, It just.
Okay, we're good. So you make the copy, y'all know how to make a copy, but that's how you change it for the students. They all know at this point we go to move, and I narrate it every day. So at my in-person kids and on my Loom, I've showed them every time I make a Loom video, and they put it in their math class folder, wherever. And I've made a math class folder so it looks the same as the kids. And then they move it there. And so then instead of them getting a new copy every day of an assignment, they go to their drive. And so what I've done is link that. So the following day, this week was weird because of Renaissance, but so on Wednesday, when I link their daily work, I link their drive. And the other thing is, realistically, we only have to take 2 grades a week. And so if you're giving them 5 days of assignments and 5 days of exit tickets, that's a lot of things for you to keep track of, and a lot of kind of unnecessary things that don't get graded. And so this way I can give them kind of one bulk grade. And so that's easier. The screen share keeps blocking this. I'm going to move my screen down so do you guys see this black bar at the top?
No.
Okay, great. It's just annoying to present. Okay, so that's how you make a copy. Do we have any questions about that?
Yeah, when you said you link their Google Drive, what do you can you explain that further? What you mean?
Yes. So right here where it just has Drive, how about I'm going to show you how to link all the things in about 2 minutes. I'll go back to that. So on this daily work, I have their warm up and their notes for the whole week. And so that's Monday, and then you get Tuesday Read Renaissance testing Wednesday. And so everything for the whole week for our daily work is there. Okay, now back to links. So let's go ahead. You see what it looks like. I'm going to show you how to make it and how to do the links. So I go to Pages. And then when you click on Pages, it only shows you your homepage. My homepage is really simple. Some of y'all have really beautiful homepages, but I'm not super tech fancy. Okay, then you click on View All Pages. And then you can see I've got the week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. So you want to make a new page. So I'm going to make a new page, and I make one by week. So I type in week 5, and then I like to put the dates. So I'm pulling up my calendar. I don't know. I've lost track of what month and what date it is. Okay, October 5th through the 9th. And then I put that at the top. I'm really struggling with typing. Okay. There we go. And then I put the days. And so this is really basic. I don't think this is anything y'all can't handle. And then I usually put the date in as well. So on Monday, okay. And at the same time that I'm making this, I like to have my drive up, and I go and I get everything I need open for the week. So it makes it pretty fast. I think it takes me about 30 minutes to set up my Canvas for the week, and that's it, as long as I have everything already created. So I pull up everything I need for next week for week 5. Okay, so I've got my daily work, and I want to make a copy. I'm going to copy this entire link, go back over to my Canvas, and go to, you can either go here, external link, or it's also the same option is there. And I usually label it week 5 daily work, and then I put the link. Except for that's not the first thing, because the first thing is attendance. So that would be the second item that they do. Does that help, Ms. Mangrum? The drive that you asked.
I guess I'm just confused. Like, does that not just link your drive?
No. So when you link the drive, it's the same link for everybody's drive, I guess, because it's you just go to your home. It's drive.google/drive/my drive. And so whatever Google login, whoever you're logged in as is whose drive it brings you to.
Yeah, that like was not clicking in my brain when you
That's
said
okay.
I understand.
Yeah. So then the following day, I just copy that. And then for Tuesday, I would come down here, and I usually put a note that's, I mean, once you do something for a couple of weeks, the kids get used to it. But the first week they're like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And I do the same title. So next week is week 5. Week 5 daily work. And then this time I've linked their drive. And so it takes maybe, 3 or 4 minutes the first week to get them to set up a folder if you haven't done that yet. But then once you have them set up the folder, and once you start doing it for a couple days, it goes really fast, and the kids are pretty good at putting it in their folder. And so then I put a note, something like, when you open your Google Drive, pull up week 5 daily work. And okay, so that's what I do for each day. I link the daily work. And then all I've been doing for exit tickets are Google Forms. And so the most wonderful thing about Google Forms is that it gives you the grades. And so it's also simplified my grading a lot, which is great because we have no time. And so I know for literacy, it might look a little bit different because math is maybe lends itself easier to just a couple questions. But I have not been doing this. Miss Price has a way where if you put their ID number in, you can have it import into Teams. I really like to see their grades as I'm putting it in, so I haven't done that. But if you include their ID number, that's possible. And then when you create this, the most important thing is that you make sure it's a quiz. And so when you open a new Google form, you go to your drive here, and when you click on forms, there's an option for a blank form or a blank quiz. You want to make sure it's a quiz, and then you can assign points to it. If you forget, which I've just done the form, you can go into settings, and it's very easy. You click on quiz and make this a quiz. So you can kind of toggle back and forth between quiz. And there's some options if you want them to see the missed questions, if you want them to see correct answers, and the point value. So this is one of my exit tickets for next week. And then when you make it, you can right here. So for literacy, if you have a paragraph, or if you're doing a vocab question or something and you want to take a snip of that, you guys know how to use the snipping tool? Anybody not know how to use the snipping tool? Okay, if you don't, ask your team, it's great. So you can pull up from here and insert. So that's how I got this question. So the same thing it's similar for literacy. You would insert your question there, or you could type it in. Kind of just depends on what kind of question. There's also the option, lots of options for short answer paragraphs. Of course, you'd have to go through and actually grade those. But if it's multiple choice, you put your answer choices in, and then when you click on answer key, you pick the correct answer and you can assign a point value. And so I've made all of my exit tickets out of 100 points, so I can ensure that when it's graded, it's super easy I don't have to do any math. It's already out of 100. So when I put it in the grade book, that's all there. So any questions about creating a Google form exit ticket?
Ms. Hinds?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't have questions about creating a Google form, but as far as how you were putting the different links on there, I was trying to take notes while you were talking.
Okay, I'm gonna make a video for y'all to go back to also.
Bless you. That was my question. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, no problem. I'm going to record myself when I actually make my week 3 tonight, or not week 3, week 5 tonight, and then y'all can go back and reference it.
I'm also recording this, so we'll have it as
perfect.
well.
Okay, so then maybe I don't need to. Well, up to y'all, whatever works. So let me pull up, this one hasn't happened. This exit ticket is for next week, but let me pull up one that my kids have already done, and so we can look at what that looks like to pull grades. So it shows you the responses, and you go to click responses, and this little button right here creates a spreadsheet. And so you can see all of their names and ID numbers. This one I had not yet sorted by period. If you put period in, you can then sort it by period. And so it's a little bit easier when you're grading. If not, I find it just as easy to click Control F for find and type the kid's name in. It takes me maybe 7 or 8 minutes to enter grades for all 6 periods. So that's great. And it shows you, since it's out of 100, it's pretty easy to pull the grade. And so when I put this is probably like key point for putting it into Canvas. If you put it in right now, you're still under edit, and you can see that at the top it says edit. And so the kids could go in and edit. Not lovely. So if you click on the I, just like I think last year, a couple years ago, we had Google Forms for accommodations, we had to click on the I, and then up here it changes it to view form. You could also type in and click view form. I just like the assurance of knowing that if I click the I, it's good to go. So now you can copy this link to put into Canvas. So Control copy, I go back to my Canvas, and then I would do 3, and I go back to my link again. It's an external link. And so I type in Monday exit ticket, and that's the link. Any questions about that? Of course, your exit tickets don't have to be Google Forms, but it's easy for the kids to see what has to be done for that day.
Ms. Hinds, have you gotten the instructions on how to link your Google Form exit tickets directly into Eduphoria so it into Teams so it populates your grades for you?
Miss Price is the whiz at that. I'm actually really not great with technology. I'm just organized. So I'm not that great with questions outside of how to do what I know.
Okay. I have those instructions, so I just didn't know if that was something you tried yet. Thank you.
Yeah, I haven't. I also really like to see what the kids' grades are when I put them in, just so I'm aware of kind of who's where. But there is a way where you can just auto-populate it. and it sorts it into teams. And Miss Price would be the person to ask because she's really good at figuring out stuff with technology and she's already done that. So she has those answers.
So
Okay.
It's like kind of a question and more of also kind of comment. I know for English, we have a lot of stuff that just can't be done through Google form and really needs to be an
Sure.
assignment. And so you said that you don't do assignments. But if we did do assignments and just linked it like this, would it still be considered like using this format
I think
instead
so.
of just like,
I think, and so what you can do, I'm going to show you how to do that with the attendance form. And so even though I've hidden assignments from them over here, you can link something within Canvas and then they still have this format where it's very clear what they need to do. So for my attendance form, it's the same thing as an assignment. I would go, you have to do this insert. I don't think there's either way. Okay, you go to course link. And if you had an assignment, so the first week I was experimenting with the assignment. So I have a couple in there, but not from recently. My attendance page, and then I click that and that's it. And so it's linked. And so I would assume that if you are creating assignments in Canvas, it would be the same. And I don't know, Miss Sanders, am I missing anything?
Nope, this is great. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I think that covered everything.
So I'll just go ahead and like say, I think
Sorry, I thought somebody was
one
doing.
thing
Go
that-
ahead.
okay, I was just gonna say, I think that what I think our parents and our kids enjoy about this is that it does break down like Monday, these are what you have to turn in.
Mhm.
But so we're using Google Docs and it has their warm up, their notes, and their exit ticket all on one Google Doc.
Mhm.
And so my thinking is that they could still use this, but how are they turning in like your daily work? You're only taking grades off of the Google Forms, or are you taking grades on what they're doing for their daily work part?
Yeah, so that is, I guess, could be a downfall for me because I'm in 8th grade now. What I've told my kids is that their daily work is to prepare them for their exit ticket and their notes are to prepare them for their exit ticket. And so I'm not taking a grade on that. And I'm taking grades on their exit tickets. I think maybe in 6th grade, that would be a harder, different situation because for 8th grade, I'm phrasing it as this is to prepare you for high school. And
I'm just trying to figure out. So you're only using the Google form for grades. You're not like grading it. They're not having to submit anything through Canvas.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Miss Mangrum, are you seeing a problem with, so if we're using this format and what we're still putting our Google Doc into the daily work, just like Miss Hinds is downloading her Google Doc, are you seeing an issue that I'm not seeing for us not being able to submit the way your kids are submitting now?
My only thing is that so whenever we make their daily assignments, we have like they have to go in and they just have to click submit assignment and then scroll down and then they just upload their Google Doc. And so I'm not seeing if we only have one page and we don't even like this isn't even an assignment link on Canvas. You can't turn in assignments through a page on Canvas. How they will actually turn in that. Will they turn it in to
So
I'm just trying to figure out how we will get their work, or if we need to just decide, okay, if we're going to do the daily work, then they can answer an exit ticket and us only use the exit ticket later. That's why I was
Well,
just
I think you can still link it, just like I did with the attendance page. You could create the assignment. You can still use assignments. It's just that the kids can't see that option. And so they see modules, they come to this page. When they click on it, it's going to bring them to the assignment. They could still turn it in and submit it the same way.
right. But if we put all of our week's assignments into only one assignment, they cannot submit. Like, how are they going to submit Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday?
Does
That's
it
my only
save
question.
it if they do Monday, do they have an option to save and not submit? And then on Tuesday, they can go back to it?
Do you not think that that's more difficult than them turning it in each day?
I don't
Ms.
know.
Mangrum, that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. So if you create an assignment for each day, just like you already do, Instead of just listing out those assignments like 27 times, you just link to it each time. So it's like, okay, so here's your daily
We
work.
already
Click
do
this
that in 6th grade. We do that.
So
you
it's
do
the
it,
same thing.
so you do it by
Yeah,
day.
we already have the link where they immediately when they click the link, it makes a copy for them.
That's
By day or
no,
by
I mean like, so on her page right here, so you're gonna have that link where it automatically makes a copy. And then you have a different link on this that says click here to turn it in. And then it takes them to the assignment where all they do is click submit and then turn it in.
I think that's gonna get real
That's-
confusing.
It's kind of what we're already doing, but in a more convoluted way.
Okay, so I want to stop right now and I want Miss Duty. Miss Duty, I need you to unmute and I'm finding your face so I can talk to you. All right, Miss Duty, here we go. As a parent of a child who is doing this, how important is it to you that when you get on, the things look the same so that it's easy for you to understand exactly what Ava needs to do?
It's important.
It's important. We're doing this because our virtual learners don't understand. Period. We're doing this because the most confusing team is our team. Period. I understand that is the nature of literacy. We cannot simply do an exit ticket. We can't do writing. We can't do text annotation. We can't do any of that. Believe me, I understand all of that. But it is our job to figure out a way to turn all of those things around in a format that everybody works. So this is where we're going as a campus. Now, here's what I'm seeing so far, and I know we'll have to troubleshoot this. I know we will, but I also know with at least 4 of you on this team that I'm looking at right now, it won't take us 10 minutes to figure out a way to do it that works. Okay. We need to take our daily, the way we have the Canvas attendance, the way we can drop our Google form into number 2 and stick with our Google form. All we're saying is we're adding a number 3 where they're then going to go in and submit. This is not a huge step for them. They're already doing it. They can make that jump. And then an exit ticket, which promises to be able to populate your grades automatically. So you're at least getting daily grades automatically through an exit ticket. This is not a huge jump from what we're already doing. It's not.
Okay, I have a question. So can we, okay, so we can set up our week like this.
Yep.
Put in a link for attendance.
Yep.
Put in that number 2.
Yep.
Oh, I'm like trying to scroll on Miss Hinds' screen. That number 2, could we link that day's Google Doc?
Yep.
Okay, and then hit number 3, and that's an exit ticket, standard issue exit ticket, multiple choice, 4 questions.
Yep.
And that's it. So
And
we're
then
not really.
And what the discussion was about the others, we're going to need a button in between 2 and 3. That's a place where the kids link so that they can submit an assignment, but they're going to be able to, number 3, submit your work here. That way, when it's more than a Google form, we can actually have them submit through Canvas. The things that they're, so if they're needing to turn the Google form back in, or if they're having to turn an essay back in because we're writing or we're having to do whatever, they can submit through their Google form. So that's the one step we would have to add to make room for that.
So their Google Doc would go.
Yep.
To this folder.
Yep. So your Google Doc would go and we would have to have an assignment place where they could turn it in. That's what I'm understanding. Is anybody, am I saying that wrong? Am I misunderstanding?
And they're not turning it in on Canvas anymore.
They're still submitting on Canvas.
Yeah, so we can create instead of creating an assignment and having a link to the Google Doc in that assignment, we would link to the Google Doc on this page, and then directly below that have a separate link to the assignment page.
And we just drop it in here.
I don't know if you can link an assignment into a page. I'm pretty sure I tried that at the beginning of all of this because I knew it would be easier if it was all on one thing, but I don't think you can do that.
Let's try.
Can you? Did I just do it wrong?
We're trying. Hang on. Let's see if it works. Because that makes a big difference to literacy and our ability to do what we need to do.
It's also possible.
Really helping us out with how fast it's loading. Let me refresh. Wow, okay, this is just the time we need this. With any luck, yours will load faster, so it won't actually take this long.
Let me try. I don't have a page.
Oh my goodness.
The kids call this Dollar Tree Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I've accepted this is the first time this has happened to me, and this is probably the most inconvenient time it could have happened. I haven't had it happen this bad yet. Yeah, this is good. Well, we can come back to that. Let's see if anything else. So when you go to publish it, let's see if that will work. Probably not, because the Wi-Fi is just loading. What time is this period end for y'all?
10:40.
Okay. So when I go to publish it, all I do is go into my module. I know for literacy, your units are very different, but I would click that, go to page, and then scroll down to my week, and I would add that item. And just like all of your other things, just make sure that it's green and it's published. And then to copy it from class to class, do y'all want to see that? Class to class.
I think everybody probably knows how to do that.
Yeah, it's the same process. You're only copying that one page, which is also kind of nice because you're not copying multiple assignments. You're just copying one page for the whole week. I have had a bit of trouble with the attendance forms, so you might need to go in and make sure that the attendance form is linked to the same class. I don't know. Some kids it worked fine, and some kids it gave them an error message if I didn't fix the attendance form link, which again only takes about 2 minutes because you're just going and clicking the attendance form. We were trying to see if an assignment would work. Here we go. Has anyone else had success trying to see if the assignment can be loaded into a page?
Honestly, my Canvas is taking forever to load too, so
Oh.
it could just be Canvas at this point.
I can practice with this later today and see if that works. If it doesn't, then we'll have to troubleshoot it a different way. That's just where we are. So we'll troubleshoot it as a team if we need to.
Okay. Any other questions? I'm pretty simple, but if I figure this out, y'all can do it too. Okay. Well, I guess I can go ahead.
Thank you, Ms. Hinds.
You're welcome.
All right, Mr. McAdoo. So our expectation is we will follow this format. Is that beginning with Monday's Canvas?
See, we're going to try to incorporate this, and we'll try to, I think it'll simplify everything that we got going. It creates like one format that each parent will see, each kiddo will see, and that should help our kiddos out. And we got to present this as a leadership team. We're going to be presenting this to the community on Monday, and we're going to try to have different breakout sessions throughout the week, next week too. And we just want parents to feel comfortable, and I can tell you this, right now we have 400 kids in person, and we have 500 kids remote. And the number one reason why those students are remote is because of our COVID situation. But if parents' levels of frustration and feeling as if their students aren't learning continues to rise, then our numbers of in-person students shall rise as well. And so my goal is to try to alleviate that and communicate to our families. Like I'm finna send out when report cards are coming out. When they see these progress reports, you know what I'm talking about, Ms. Brown. I see it on your face. There's gonna be a lot. And so I gotta make sure that I create something that's intuitive, like Apple or something. I don't know, it's close to it. That's why I don't like that. But something that can communicate to them, this is what we got for you. This is the format all the way across the board. If you have any questions, you can go through the same process with your daughter's friend's mom, with your cousin that goes here. Everybody has the same format. We're gonna make it to where if they have any questions for us, we set up a little hotline where they can reach us and somebody can speak in Spanish, because we got to address our other population, that a majority of our population that are Spanish speakers. So we got to reach out to them and just be thinking about our stakeholders. So guys, during PLC this week is the time that you'll be working on this and trying to make those adjustments. So we're going to create time throughout the remainder of this week for this. I believe that's been communicated. I'm not sure, but I want to make sure we have time to work on this and make this adjustment for our students. All right. Any questions for me before somebody comes to the door? Anything? All right.
Just one question.
I just want to say thank you to everyone too. I know these are challenging times, and this is far different. Like sorry about that, guys. But I know these are times that we're actually building the plane in the air. And I want us all to continue to have a tough mindset, one that's flexible, one that is strong with understanding we're trying to put student needs first. So that's it. And I appreciate everybody for being flexible. So I think that who's hello?
Ms. Brown, go ahead, Ms. Brown.
Who's
Yes.
that? Ms. Brown?
It's
All right.
yes. Hi. Sorry.
Hey.
So right now, at least my team, our Canvas is not set up by unit. We have been making a different module for each week. But
Yes,
you
ma'am.
want us to be putting the whole week on one paper, or is it just like put one day on one paper, or how particular do you want us to be on that?
I just want to see that same format. That's all the details of what you're talking about. Like, I'm not picky on that, but I am just want to say, when I go to your Canvas page, I just want to go, all right, Mrs. Torres, this is what we got. You got step 1, this is where you see that, 2 and 3, you know, and that's it. How y'all working within it, I'm fine with that, but just something where parents can have that sense of a one-stop shop. That's all.
Okay, so we could have a module that's the whole week and then have one page for each day
Yes.
and have like 3 links on Monday.
Yes.
Have like the attendance link, here's your actual,
Because-
so that completely
that.
solves the assignment problem then.
Yes, because unlike math, who has 2 weeks in a unit, we have 7 weeks in a unit, so that's going to become more confusing for us. So ours will be by week, not by unit. But the
Okay.
format of step 1, 2, 3, 4, that's what stays the same. And your Google Docs just get dropped into step 2.
I like
Okay.
that.
I've got a slightly revised version of the Google Doc that Donna Morgan checked, that's 6th grade. It's built straight off of 6th grades. If you would like me to share that, let me know. So I'll have it in the classroom so you can look at it if you need one to look at. Okay. I need one more thing from you guys. I need you to send me, when you have a minute, a name of one virtual learner who's not getting anywhere and a name of one virtual learner who's going well. I'm going to be contacting 2 parents from each of your classes. So 1 from each class, please. I'm going to be contacting a host of parents to get some feedback directly for our team. Okay.
You see?
And tomorrow, like Mr. McAdoo said, we'll be building. So tomorrow we'll be building what we're talking about today.
All right, guys, can we tell Ms. Hinds thank you for taking the time out to do this?
Thank you, Ms. Hines.
Thank you. And Ms.
Uh-huh.
Barlow, see that baby? You're feeding the baby today. Oh man, he's showing off. Oh man, so anywho. Anything for me? We good?
You want to come back to literacy?
Do what, Susan?
Nothing. It's not important.
All right, guys, if there's nothing else, thank you very much. Tomorrow we build.
Ms. Barron,
Yes, ma'am.
ask, can you just send us the comprehension club thing? So
Yes.
I can put it in my lesson plan. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Gotcha.
Ms. Barron, 2 questions, please.
Yes, Ms. White. If you're done, you can get off. If you've got a question, you're welcome to stay.
Okay, one, I have some construction going on in my room and I heard you say something about online students
Send me a
and,
name of it. Send me, I'm going to do, we have gotten a lot of value out of the parents that I've talked to the last couple of weeks. So I'm
Mhm.
asking you to send me the name of a virtual learner out of each period who is not getting anywhere and a virtual learner that's doing great. So that I can get some parent responses on what's working and what's not to continue to streamline what we need to do.
okay, my second question for the unit test tomorrow, any of that, are we still supposed to have the stuff covered in our walls before I
No,
ask the
your
students
unit
to
test
take it
does not
down?
have to be covered.
We're
It does
good.
not have to be star aligned. That's up to you. If you want to leave
Appreciate
it
it.
covered just to screw with them, that's fine.
Cool. Thank you, Ms. Barron.
No problem. Anybody else have a question before I end the meeting? All right, if you need me, let me know. If you want to send thoughts and troubleshooting that I need to work on with this Canvas thing before tomorrow, send me your concerns so I can troubleshoot before tomorrow. Okay. All right, thank you.